now, one of the things that's very common with skin problems and skin, it's like one of the most common issues that we see with skin, and it is, you know, in some cases, the leading cause of death when people get third-degree burns. When we have burns of the skin, we usually classify them first, second, third. All right, first, second, third. All right, you know, have you ever known someone that's had like a third-degree burn? And depending upon how much of their body is covered in that third-degree burn, it's really going to depend on their survival, because third-degree burns are bad. Now, we take care of burns. First degree, okay, pretty much go on, okay? Second degree, got some cream? All right, you might look for some cream, you know, to put on it. Third-degree burns, you're going to the hospital. Some second-degree burns can send you there. Okay, just depending. Third degree, you're going. Okay, there's no option.
So second-degree burn, is that like where your skin looks like you're getting a blister from?
Yeah, if you get a blister, you've done a second-degree burn.
Okay, because I remember when I was living in Massachusetts, we have this thing called Corsi. It's like a box where there's a little light at the bottom. It's kind of like a heater in a way. And in Iranian culture, this is what we have. And so at one point we had a huge light bulb, which was not protected, where it should probably have been. And I was laying down, and my leg rubbed across it, and it was painful.
Right.
But it wasn't deep, like, so I'm thinking it's a second degree, but I wasn't sure.
When you do the first degree burn, you're only burning through a couple of those layers. When you get to the second degree burn, you've hit the dermis. So that's one of the big differences. So you've hit the area where you're going to have some feeling for that burn.
Because the second degree burn is like burning your blood vessels, why isn't that perceiving it?
Actually, it's going to be the third degree, because the third degree has moved into the lower levels of the dermis and may have even gone as far as meeting the bone, which means it's gone through the fat tissue, it's gone through the muscle, it's burned through everything. Yeah, so that's way more serious than the second degree. Yeah, second degree, you can hit some of those blood vessels and everything, but your chances of them going ahead and starting with repair are good. Third degree, those chances are not as good. So sometimes when we have those really deep burns, we have different ways now that we treat them. For example, used to be able to get skin from other animals. All right, used to be able to maybe take skin from another part of your body, put it to the part of your body that's been hurt. Something that has really come a long way since its development, artificial skin. Ever seen artificial skin in use? Yes, it is really cool, okay? Not only does it help with giving some protection, all right, it's helping with the healing. Now, of course, depending on the severity of the burn, still determines, you know, how well that person is going to survive. Usually with the first and second degree burn, you pretty much recover. You know, the cells don't have to change, they're still functional. Third degree burns, well, no matter what you think, you know, how you might think about the third degree burns. You remember how we talked about the gap that gets created and then how things can close up for the wound repair? With a third degree burn, it's a huge gap, which is the reason that we need something else. And most of the time, what we're going to find, you know, when we have a third-degree burn, we end up with a lot of like the eschar, the scar tissue that's showing up, and we get, you know, a lot of formation of the scar and everything as the healing takes place. We have to continuously kind of clean off this little dead blackened skin that shows up, and it's very painful. You know, the debridement process and everything is very painful to the person who has suffered a third-degree burn. When burns happen, the way that, you know, emergency personnel who have responded and are bringing the victims maybe to the emergency room that you're working in, they're going to give you a percentage of what part of how much of the body they're predicting has been burned. They base that percentage on this rule of nines. Now, in an adult, note how they are kind of giving us the 9%. Okay? 1% is given for the genitalia. Upper limbs, 9%. Head, 9%. Lower limbs, 18%. But if you want to split it up, 9. Okay? Trunk, 18%. Front and back, 9%. Flip them over, 9%. Okay? So let's say they came in with burns along their right arm and the majority of their chest. They're going to say they're coming in with 18% burns. Now, for a child, we hadn't really talked about this yet. Itty bitty baby's born. Looks like a C. Okay? Has to grow into the S. But do you happen to know at what age their headphones close up? Meaning that's going to be the size of the head for the rest of their life.
It's really, really long.
It's like roughly 3 or 4 years old. Okay? That's why little children have these little big heads and they're all wobbly. Okay? Because they have to grow into their head. Yeah, really interesting. So for children, we get a huge percentage given to just the head area. The upper limb, 9%. Trunk, we're doing 8 and 8. Okay, genitalia 1. Lower limb, 17. Pretty much, you know, if they've got a burn on the lower limb, they're going to give you all 17% because the legs are shorter. Okay, so they might come in and say, based on maybe the child is coming in, burns on their left arm, half of their chest. Okay, so we're going to have 9 and 4. So it's going to be 13% burns. See how I got that number? All right, so they use the rule of nines. When we look at what can go wrong or different conditions that can show up with skin, skin conditions can range anything from what we know as birthmarks all the way up to bacterial and viral infections. Because our skin is very susceptible, being this barrier between the internal and the external environment, okay, it's very susceptible to everything that we're exposed to. Some of these you've probably heard, psoriasis maybe, okay, chickenpox, shingles, acne, okay, a lot of these you've probably heard of.
What's MRSA considered?
MRSA is going to be a bacterial infection because
is it of the skin? Or is it?
MRSA is, now, MRSA itself does not affect the skin until there is a breach. And then MRSA affects the area of the breach. Each of us is probably walking around with MRSA somewhere on our bodies. You know, it's just a matter of getting it tested to see where. But it doesn't matter, okay? You're walking around with it, that's not causing you any problems. It's not gonna cause you a problem until there's actually a cut in that area of the body.
Yeah, one of my wrestlers had MRSA, and he had it on his leg, and they cut it open, and had to like squeeze all of it out. And he said like a white solid ball.
Yeah, it's a really gross bacteria to have. Number one, it reproduces quickly. Most bacteria reproduces at a rate of every 20 minutes. 1 becomes 2, 2 becomes 4, 4 becomes 8. MRSA does that development quicker, and that's why it's such an issue, and the control of it is a problem. Because of the reason of it being methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus, which is MRSA, and therefore having that resistance to antibiotics. So it's a really nasty infection.
What about like a bone infection? Like, one of my friends, her mom was in a bad accident, and I mean, she had like a skin graft because the bone was exposed. And then once she got the skin graft,
So did she develop it while in the hospital?
No, it was like a bunch of the skin grafts failed, and once she got home is when, because it was still like, they still had to like let fluid drain out, so there's always gonna be like a hole in the bottom of the skin graft. But like
Even now?
there's like a little hole in the bottom of it.
Sure that wasn't a hospital obtained?
I don't know
Infection?
that I know of. I know like after she had gotten home,
She got a staph, it sounds like a staph infection. So, staph infections are very difficult to get rid of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And what do we have coming up on Sunday? Super Bowl. Oh, no, I don't think we're supposed to say that, are we? But
Yeah,
we have some kind of special rights or what?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so we'll strike that from the record. Okay, so we've got the big game coming up on Sunday. Even though, Walking Dead. Okay, so I'm having to make a decision. But now, we're gonna look a little bit closer at the skeletal system. As you know, okay, this system, that's our structure, all right? It's our support for all of these muscles, ligaments, tendons, everything that's attached to it. Chelsea not wanting to see it?
See the basketball game where the guy's eye fell out?
Do what?
Did you see the basketball game where the guy's eye fell out?
Wait. Yes, I saw
Yeah, you saw that? Yeah.
What was this?
This
No.
was 2 weeks ago. This one player, I think they were playing over in, my dad was telling me about it, they're playing over in Asia or something. It was live, and they were filming it, and they were like, oh, this guy's hurt, and then whenever somebody gets hurt, you know how they always zoom in on it, and they zoomed in on it, and the guy's eye was completely out of his head, and they immediately were like, oh God, like, turned away.
How is that possible with the helmets and
Did
stuff?
he, no, this was basketball.
Oh.
Basketball.
Yeah.
So he got a head injury.
Yeah. And I guess it just like hit his head so hard that his eye just went.
If you hit the head in the right spot, it will pop that eye out. Yes.
Is there a way to get it back in?
Now, it is a way to get it back in as long as all the pieces are still there, okay? As long as the optic nerve is in place, okay?
I wonder if you can still see.
Yes, there is. However, the care of it until they get to the care is very important. Yeah, it's very important that the eye is wrapped correctly and everything. Yeah, it's kind of.
The announcers are like, oh God, his eye's completely out of his head.
I'm not sure how I would have. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look that up though.